The time is 5 o'clock. Here is the world news at 5. First, the top headlines. Ogun teacher who allegedly penalized students who later died arrested and suspended. Revenue agency worried over rising cost of governance in Nigeria. Non-academic staff of federal universities begin indefinite strike. Catholic Church opposes proposed decriminalization of abortion in Nigeria. On the foreign scene, Kamala Harris calls Trump rally divisive for liberating Puerto Rico island of garbage. Georgia Prime Minister rejects vote rigging claims. Good evening, I am Afolasade Ogungbamila, bringing you the news in detail shortly. Now the news in details. The Ogun State government has suspended a teacher who allegedly penalized a student of Obada Grammar School, Obada Idiemi, who later died. The teacher was also arrested over the incident. The senior secondary school 2 student, Master Monday Ario, was allegedly given 24 strokes of cane by the teacher, who also ordered him to perform 162 frog jump. In the process, the student collapsed and was rushed to the Federal Medical Center at Abeokuta, where he later died. Following the incident, the State Education, Science and Technology Minister said the teacher was promptly arrested. Also arrested was the principal of the school, who allegedly authorized the punishment of the students. The ministry gave the principal 24 hours deadline to explain her action over the corporal punishment used on the student against the established rule and regulation. The ministry also sent a condolence letter to the family of the late student, promising to get justice for their child. The ministry's permanent secretary in the condolence letter described the late student as an exceptional student who would be missed by his colleagues, the school, and the state. The state government is to give free screening for hypertension and diabetes for 350,000 people across the state. The exercise, scheduled to begin on Monday and end on November 3, is part of Project 10 Million Awareness Campaign, which is an initiative of the Nigerian Governors Forum. The State Health Commissioner, Dr. Tomi Koka, launching the program at a news conference last weekend, said it aims at combating the prevalence of non-communicable diseases such as hypertension and diabetes. She said a free screening would be conducted at the primary, secondary, and tertiary health facilities of the state government, as well as markets, mosques, and churches. The commissioner said special attention will be given to underserved communities across the state's 234 wards to access vulnerable people. Governor Dr. Abiodun has commiserated with the Olowu of Owu Kingdom, Abeokuta Oba Professor Sakama Temilola, over the death of his mother, Alhaja Alirat Adunima Temilola. She died on Sunday following a brief illness. The governor's condolence message said he received the news with sadness hours after the celebration of the Omo Olowu Day in Abeokuta. He described the death of the matriarch of the royal household as a great loss to her family, the Owu Kingdom, and Ogun State. The governor said she was a great mother who inculcated in her children the virtue of discipline, hard work, and quality leadership, which the Olowu has been exhibiting since he ascended the throne. He extended his condolence to the monarch, the royal family, and the Owu Kingdom during this time of grief. Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission, RMAFC, says it is worried over the rising cost of governance in Nigeria. The agency says Nigeria's cost of governance is one of the highest in the sub-Saharan Africa and is taking fund required for critical developmental projects. It warned that no society could make any meaningful progress unless it develops a competent and cost-effective managerial system. Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission Chairman Mohamed Shehu Bello in a statement called for the immediate implementation of the recommendation of the Oronsanye panel on rationalization of federal ministries, departments, and agencies. Bello said that Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission are different fora had drawn attention to the danger which the worrisome trends posed to the economy. According to him, the cost of governance had been rising due to the endemic corruption as well as expensive nature of large bureaucracy, duplication of the ministries, departments, agencies in the three tiers of government. He said the rising cost of governance in Nigeria was partly responsible for inadequate infrastructural facilities and consequent drop in investment, high level of unemployment, and growing insecurity. The Catholic Church has opposed alleged ban by the federal government to decriminalize abortion. The Catholic Secretariat of Nigeria says there is a reported plan by the federal government to decriminalize abortion through the review of some sections of the Criminal Code 1090. The Church Secretary General, Very Reverend Zachariah Samson, said the proposal would threaten the value and dignity of human person. He added that the proposal would violate the provision of the Constitution, which prescribes absolute protection and respect of human life and its inherent dignity. Non-academic staff of federal universities today begin an indefinite strike over their various outstanding demands from the federal government. The demands include the non-payment of their 4-month salaries during the shutdown of universities in 2022 following the strike by ASU. Also, they are demanding the implementation of the 2009 agreement. National President of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, Mohammed Ibrahim, and General Secretary of the Non-Academic Staff Union, Peter Adeyemi, ordered members to embark on the strike. Counterparts in the state-owned universities are asked by the Joint Sector Union to incorporate their local demands with the strike. Ibrahim said the strike followed the expiration of several deadlines issued and protest, which failed to yield positive result. He cited 50% of the withheld 8-month salaries, which President Tinubu ordered to be paid, which up till now was not implemented. The presidency has explained why the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and other security agencies have not been able to arrest former Governor Yahaya Bello. Bello, the immediate past Kogi State Governor, had been in hiding from EFCC over 80.2 billion naira he allegedly stole from the state government coffers during its 8-year tenure. He also evaded summons issued by courts, which had declared him wanted. Presidential spokesman Bayo Ononuga, speaking on the issue, blamed the development of Governor Usman Ododo of Kogi State. Ononuga said Bello was believed to be hiding in the official residence of the governor, who assisted him in escaping EFCC arrest in his Abuja home. He explained that since the governor has constitutional immunity, EFCC operatives and those of security agencies could not arrest him in the governor's residence. You are listening to the World News at 5 on Rock City 101.9 FM. Still to come, foreign, business, and sport news. Please to stay with us. And now on the foreign scene. Kamala Harris's campaign has attacked a huge Donald Trump rally in New York as dangerously divisive and demeaning. Trump told thousands of his supporters in Madison Square Garden that he would have an American-first approach and crack down on immigrants. But comments made by his supporters at the event have drawn criticism. One called Harris the Antichrist, while a comedian described Puerto Rico as a floating island of garbage. Trump has distanced himself from the garbage comment, which sparked furious reactions from several Republicans. Georgia's prime minister has hailed a landslide election result, rejecting allegations of vote rigging and violence. Official preliminary result from Georgia's election commission gave the ruling Georgian Dream, GD, an outright majority of 54%, despite exit polls for opposition TV channels suggesting 4 opposition parties had won. Georgia's pro-Western president, Salom, had condemned the total falsification of the vote and called for opposition supporters to rally outside parliament today. Surrounded by leaders of the opposition, Salom said the vote could not be recognized and called on the people to gather in Rustaveli Street, the big avenue that runs past parliament, to defend their constitutional rights. Coalition for Change and another opposition group, United National Movement, have said they will boycott parliament. 2 exit polls carried by Western pollsters for opposition TV channels suggested that the opposition had won and that GD had secured a maximum of 42%, not 54%. In business, the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) says it will not reduce the prevailing high interest rate to avoid it spiraling out of control. CBN Governor Olayemi Cardoso said the Apex Bank was aware of the gradual lowering of interest rates by other countries. Cardoso, however, said Nigeria could not for now join them because it was facing loss of money supply and other challenges, piling pressure on inflation. The CBN governor made the clarification on Saturday at a news conference on the sideline of the IMF World Bank Annual General Meeting in Washington, D.C. According to him, CBN was mindful of the dysfunctional nature of high interest rate and hoped that over time the interest rate would moderate. Cardoso, however, said CBN policy so far was working as it has wiped out front-loading of foreign exchange demand and gradually stabilizing the foreign exchange markets. Finally, the sport news. Nigeria's Flying Eagles are through to the final of the WAFU Under-20 Championship following their 3-1 win over Niger Republic in Togo on Sunday night. The defending champion came back from a goal deficit to secure their second victory at the tournament. The emphatic win over Niger also sees Nigeria qualify for the next edition of the Under-20 African Cup of Nations to be hosted by South Africa. An excellent brace from Clayton Jefta and an equally brilliant strike by Alonge Olalekun earned Nigeria a deserved victory over their West African neighbors. With the win, Nigeria advanced to the final of the WAFU Under-20 Championship, where they will look to defend the title they won 2 years ago. In the final, the Flying Eagles will face bitter rivals Ghana's Black Satellite, who defeated Cote d'Ivoire 2-1 in the other semi-final fixture. Both Nigeria and Ghana have already qualified for the African Cup of Nations tournament in South Africa next year. That was the World News at 5, and just before we go to top headlines once again, we reported that Ogun teacher who allegedly penalized students who later died, arrested and suspended. Revenue agency worried over rising cost of governance in Nigeria. Non-academic staff of federal universities begin indefinite strike. Catholic Church opposes proposed decriminalization of abortion in Nigeria. On the foreign scene, we told you that Kamala Harris calls Trump's rally divisive for labeling Puerto Rico island of garbage. Georgia Prime Minister rejects vote rigging claims. For more stories and to listen to us live, please log on to our website at www.rockcityfmradio.com. Thank you for listening. I am Afolasade Ogungbamila. Good evening.